I said I'm loving, I'm living, too blessed to be stressed. Feel like life is just a test. I surrender, I put down my vest. I ask God what's next. Preparation prevents poor performance. I sharpen my tools, I pay my dues. I see the clues, 444. Angel at my door, talk with God. He say that you.
What's good with y'all, family? I know y'all having a beautiful and abundant day because you were the creator of your own reality. Today I'm gonna name this video Unconditional Love. You know, what is unconditional love to you? That's the first thing I want to ask y'all. And don't mind me constantly rotating the camera. But yeah, what is unconditional love to you? To me, unconditional love is loving people even when they don't make you feel good, you know? Because love isn't about someone fulfilling your needs, you know? Love is unconditional. You love people for who they are, even through the vices, even when they wrong you, even when they betray you, you know? You still have that love in your heart because love is not something that ever goes away, you know? Love is eternal. Love is infinite. That makes me want to go to the topic of forgiveness, you know? Forgiveness is important because if you don't forgive, you're only hurting yourself in the end, you know? Holding grudges against someone, you know, it's creating disease in the body. It's creating sickness in the body when you were living in a state of hate, you know? When you were living in a state of regret, it is only damaging you. And not only yourself, but set that other person free. Forgive yourself, forgive them, and release them with love, you know? Because releasing people with love, letting go in love, you know, the energy you put out is what you receive. So just find that peace, you know? Don't really hold things over people's head. Don't set expectations on the people about how you want them to be, you know? Learn to love people for how they are. Every relationship, every connection in our life is just a mirror of self, you know? So when you catch yourself judging someone, when you catch yourself pointing a finger, you know, the mirror is going to reflect that back, because anytime you are pointing out the flaws of another individual, you are just pointing out the things that you are insecure about. So that's why it's best that you do the inner work instead of critiquing everyone else, instead of pointing fingers at them. Go within and see what about this person is triggering this in me. Why am I getting triggered by them? And that's a good way to get to the root of whatever the issue is, you know? Shadow work, meditation, just taking time throughout your day to be present and to just sit with the breath. For me, I like to meditate in the dark. I find a lot of peace in that because, you know, it just teaches you that the shadow, the dark, is not something you should run from, because we come from the dark. When we were in our mother's womb, we're in the dark. You know, dark and light, that's just part of life. That's just part of duality. That is yin and yang. And we have both energies within us. Everyone has a dark and a light. No one is purely light. No one is purely dark. But it's up to you how you decide to balance those energies, how you decide to operate within those energies, you know? Because the reality we live in is simply just what we manifest. You have the power to manifest whatever reality it is that you want to experience. Emotion is simply just energy in motion. So whatever emotion you are feeling, this is a good indicator of where you are sending your energy, you know? So if you desire to manifest something, visualize it and feel that emotion that you would be feeling as if you were already in that experience. So say for example, I desire a brand new Benz. I would visualize myself in that Benz and I would feel immense gratitude. The thought with the emotion is what's going to help you manifest that, you know? And you can do that shit with anything. But if you need to, or if you desire to know where your energy is going, pay attention to how you feel. Because how you feel is telling you what you're paying attention to, where you're sending your energy to. So, do you choose to focus your attention and energy on the bad things, or do you tend to see the beauty in everything, you know? Even when those moments don't go as expected, find the beauty in that, because there is beauty in the dark. You know, think about it. Flowers, they start off as seeds. They're in the dark. And then you get to see the beautiful colors as they grow through the metamorphosis, as they get uncomfortable, as they stretch, as they expand. We get to see this beautiful flower. And at us as human beings, it's no different, you know? We go through the dark so we can shine. We go through the dark so we can appreciate those beautiful moments. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Y'all have a beautiful day. I love y'all. I say.